Alrighty. So hello everyone, my name is Becky with Scott Leroy Marketing, and today we are going to be doing our command overview. So we'll be going through the ins and outs of command. We'll be talking about a bunch of the different things that you can do, the different features of command. I will go ahead and say that this is pretty fast paced. There is a lot to cover in the command overview. So besides the settings that we'll go through, things like that, for the last half of the class, it'll be mostly just an overview of what you can do in each of the applets, and not necessarily walking you through each of them, because we do have classes that walk you through each of the different applets in command. If that doesn't make sense to you, I'll explain it again when we get to talking about the applets. But just keep in mind that this is a bit fast paced. We do have a bunch of other classes. This is more of a general overview of command and the features in command and what command can do for you. But we do have classes that walk you through those ins and outs more, particularly with each applet. So I did just want to go ahead and say that. I apologize if I talk a little fast. I'm just have a bunch to cover. But with that said, if you have any questions as we go through, please go ahead and drop them in the chat as you have your questions. I'll do my best to get them answered in real time. Generally, for the sake of timing, I will save those for the end unless it is something that I can grab really quickly in the moment. So if it's something I can quickly answer in the moment, then I'll happily grab it. Otherwise, I will save those questions for the end if it's more in depth, just so I can make sure I have enough time to get through all of the class material and give you a good answer to your question. Don't want to rush through answering your questions. I want to make sure that I'm actually helping you with my answers, which is why I would want to save them for the end. Just wanted to let you know that so that you don't think I'm ignoring you if I skip over your question in the chat. I promise you I will read through every single question that comes through. I just may have to save them for the very end. So don't think I'm ignoring you. Your questions will definitely get answered. Just go ahead and drop them as you have the questions. That way, if you're anything like me, you don't forget your question. And I'll be more than happy to answer them, cover it in the class if we get there or something like that. So if you are watching this back on recording and you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to us via email. Our email is support@scottleroymarketing.com. I just dropped that in the chat for everyone here with me live as well. You're more than welcome to email us if you have any further questions beyond what we talk about today, or if you run into any snags with any of this, just feel free to email us. We're more than happy to help out. Today's class recording will be available on our YouTube channel in about 24 hours. We do always recommend when you are on our YouTube channel, let me go ahead and drop the link to that in the chat for y'all. It is just Scott Leroy Marketing on YouTube. We do always recommend that when you are on our YouTube channel that you look for the most recent videos. Things are always changing, both with command and the services that we offer here at Scott Leroy Marketing. So we just recommend checking the most recent videos so that you have up-to-date information. Easiest way to do that is using this videos tab right here. So if you are on your videos tab right here, it'll have the most recent video up at the top, and then they will get older the further down you scroll. If you are searching, for example, using this search bar right here, and we say command overview, let's search there, then you'll see that they don't always pull in an order. In this case, this top one is actually our most recent video. So if you are looking for the most recent videos, sometimes it will pull up to the top. Otherwise, it may be a little out of order. So just keep an eye on those dates on those videos as you go through them. Keep an eye on them if it's something from like 3 years ago. But odds are it's going to be pretty out of date. So just make sure that you are checking the dates on those videos. We want to make sure you have up-to-date information. The order this pulls in is just based off of YouTube's algorithm. It's not something that we're able to adjust on our end. So otherwise, we would definitely adjust that. But again, videos tab is the easiest way since it will be in reverse chronological order. All right, so with all of that, here I'm going to go ahead and we'll jump over to command. I do see a question as well about, you can't see this on your computer because the app is only on your phone. Just to be sure, are you talking about the class or command? Because I can try to help you either way, but yeah, I'll keep going for now. But yeah, so we're going to jump over to command, which if you are not familiar with command, you're just going to go to agent.kw.com. I just entered that in the chat for y'all as well. You're more than welcome to copy and paste that to your browser. When you are at, on command, you're going to sign in here with your command login credentials that you set up during onboarding. So once you set those up, if you've changed your password since then, obviously you will use that. But otherwise, it would be the same username and things like that that you set up at onboarding. So when you are here, you'll enter your username. The username is not case sensitive, so you can enter this in with any capitalization that you want. Password is case sensitive, so just be careful there when you're entering that, as well as if you are copying your password from somewhere else, especially if you're like double clicking to copy and paste. Just keep in mind that sometimes it will not actually select any special characters, or it may add a space before or after the password. So if you are getting an error on your password, it's not letting you sign in, just click this eye icon right here, check, make sure it has the special characters, make sure it's the correct password, all that stuff. And also just make sure there's no space before or after the password, as that will also cause an error. If you, can't get in, you need to reset your password, just click this forgot password down at the bottom. You'll enter your username. It'll send a code over to your recovery email that you have on file. Recovery email is generally going to be a personal non-KW email. So KW changed the security settings there. So it will be personal non-KW, whatever email you used there. And I can show you where you can find that when you are within your account. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to click sign in here. I'll give it a second. Now, sometimes if you are signing in for the first time, you're signing in on a new computer, like new device, or you are, just signing in for the first time in a while, then it may prompt you to enter a verification code that will also be sent to your recovery email that you have on file. If for some reason you cannot, you're not getting that email, feel free to reach out to us via email or your market center staff. They have access to update that email on their end. We're happy to check on that for you. We may have the option to update it on our end. And otherwise, we can definitely put you in contact with your market center staff. So once we are signed in here, it'll bring us to our home page, and everyone's home page is a little bit customizable here. So it could look a little bit different. You would just click this customize button in the top right corner, and from there you can select which widgets you want to, have appear. So maybe we don't want to see the sponsored events, and maybe we don't want goals there, but we want to put our database health up at the very top, and we want to move our most active contacts. So on the left, we'll select the different widgets. On the right, we'll arrange them by dragging and dropping them. Just grab those, that icon and drag them around. Then we'll just click apply, and those changes will go into effect here. The leads never contacted, recently active, birthdays, and anniversaries, those 4 will all remain the same, and they will all show right up there at the very top, no matter how you rearrange your dashboard. So we're going to start with working our way across the very top, and then we're going to work our way down the left-hand side. So we'll start up here. Up at the top, you're going to see command, which we will actually come back to when we go down this left-hand side. Command, that's where we currently are. The next you'll see is connect. And connect is, they just updated it. So connect is a built-in resource library for you. So there's a couple of options in here. You'll see your learning, so you can, search by saved or browse all here. You can look for any events. That'll bring you over to the events calendar. So we can just toggle between those up here. We can also toggle on the left-hand side. So however you want to do that. But when you are in the learning section, you will see, some classes, some recommendations here, self-study courses, anything you've started, your bookmarks. You'll just see some good options throughout here, different things that you can take a look at. Now we can also go to learning and go browse all. And under here, you're going to see all of them broken down by category. So we have KW University courses, which includes things like Ignite and Shift and Breakthrough 120, things like that. We have the leadership hub if you're a market center staff, articles and information on listings, working with buyers, lead generation, all that great stuff throughout here. Now, if we do scroll down, we're going to go to this Welcome New Associate section. There's just one thing I want to show you in here under New Associate Essentials. We're going to click on that, and it's going to bring us in here. Give it a second. Then you're going to see different options in here. So we have the Red Label store, which is where you can get your KW gear, vision, benefits, dental and health as well, profit share information, logos and branding. This is specifically what I wanted to point out here, is our logos and branding section. So if we open that up here, you'll see a couple options, the identity and style guide, which will just walk you through, brand compliance with KW's specific guidelines there. It also does have the color hex codes for KW red, the dark gray they use, the light gray they use, things like that. So if you want the specific shade of red specifically, that's probably the most popular one to want to be looking for. You can find that in the KW identity and style guide. We have the ownership statement where you can review that information, onboarding guide. And then we also have the primary logo collection. Primary logo collection is going to be KW logos. This is not going to be your market centers logos. We're going to scroll down to find those. But the primary logo is going to be KW with, Keller Williams written out beside it. I'll show you an example of what it looks like down below. But if we click download now right here, it is going to download a zip file, and that will have different file types and color variations that you can use of that same logo. If we scroll down, we have the option to find our market center logo. So we can search by our market center name or number. So if you know the number, you can enter that in. If you don't, you can type by the name and it will pull up. When you click on that, you'll see it update with your market center's logo, and you can just click download logo from here. And it will allow you to download that. Again, that will also be a zip file with different file types and color variations. So if you're looking for some variety with the logo, you want it all white, all black, you can definitely look at those through here. And then we have the Keller Williams logo variation. So this is what I was referring to with the primary logos. They have different options for the primary logos with realty, with real estate, informal logos down here. So you can definitely take a look at that. They have all the different variations of their logo that you would want in here. All right. I'm going to go back out to our Connect here. I'm going to go back to our Learning Home. So we're in here. Next, on the left-hand side, we're going to see events. And we kind of talked about this a little bit with I showed you could access it from your Connect homepage as well. But when you are in events, this is going to have events from both your market center, so your market center, your region, KWRI, which if you're not familiar, KW and KWRI are actually synonymous. KWRI is Keller Williams Realty International, so it's the long way of saying KW. So if you hear anyone refer to it as KWRI, it just means KW as well. But yeah, so you'll see all of these events in here. Now, your events may look different per market center, but also if you're not seeing any events here, it's not necessarily something to be concerned about. I would just, in that case, recommend reaching out to your market center staff. Not all market centers utilize this calendar. Some have a different calendar that they like to use. So if you are not seeing events here, just reach out to your market center staff. They can help point you in the correct direction and get you set up with your market center's calendar. So definitely reach out to them if you're not seeing events here, or if you think you're missing some events in here as well. Next, on the left-hand side, you'll also see saved videos. So we have ones that you've bookmarked, and we have continue learning. So if you've started a video or an article or something like that, and you didn't actually finish it, it will appear in continue learning. And completed learning, if you've gone through, watched a video all the way through, completed an article or a lesson or something like that, it should show under completed learning, even if you haven't bookmarked it there as well. We go back out to our command home, just so we're in a familiar place. Next thing you'll see along the top on my screen is Command MC. I'm going to skip over this today. Command MC is for Market Center staff only. If you are Market Center staff and you have questions about Command MC, please reach out to us via email, support@scottleroymarketing.com. We're always happy to jump in and help out. Most of you will not have access to this Command MC since it is just for Market Center staff, which is why I'm going to skip past it today. So if you're not seeing that, don't worry. You're probably, if you're not Market Center staff, don't worry if you're not seeing Command MC there. All right, moving across the top, we have KWIQ with the 3 stars next to it. That is going to be KW's built-in AI assistant. So you can ask it questions about real estate in general or command. So you can ask it questions and get some quick answers, pun intended. And you will be able to, find them here. Now, keep in mind it is AI. AI is not always the most perfectly accurate thing ever. So review for accuracy, but it can definitely be good if you just need something, you're looking up something and you just need an answer here. So can definitely be a helpful resource. The next thing you'll see is a marketplace, which is a storefront icon. So if we click on that, I'm going to open it in a new tab. So when Command was created, it was built by agents for agents. And when they created Command, they wanted you to be able to integrate external platforms with Command. So if you have, you want to send out texts via Command, you can connect to Twilio, things like that. You can go to the Technology and Integrations tab. They have Twilio, they have, NetSheet, Canva, API Nation options through here. So you can definitely check those out. They also have some discounts if you want to check on those as well. And next, we have this notification bell right here. If we open this notification bell, it will show us our command notifications. So from our different applets, this is based off of what applets you have access to. So if you are on a team, you may have different notifications available. If you're Market Center staff, you'll have different notifications available. So it can vary based off of what you have access to. But if you click all notifications here, you'll see all of those different applets. So we can go in, let's see, we'll go with contacts here. So it will filter by the different applets here, and you'll be able to see all of those notifications in here. Example notifications, a contact import was successful, or if it failed, an export was successful. It should all appear here in your notifications. So it'll be in your unread notifications. Once it has been marked as read, you will be able to find it under this red tab for 90 more days, and then it will automatically fall off of that. We can click the settings cogwheel up in the top right corner of our notifications, and it will bring us to our notification settings. So we can choose what notifications give us, what notifications we get based off of what applets we have. So again, based off of what you have access to. If you're not Market Center staff, you probably won't see, some of these, like associates, things like that. But you can go in, we'll go contacts. I think everyone has contacts applet. So in here, you will see, your desktop in-app notifications, which is this notification bell right here. Mobile in-app notifications would be the notification bell in the Command mobile app. And then mobile push notifications are push notifications you receive from the app to your phone when you have the Command app downloaded. So they'll be like pop-up notifications that you'll see on your phone, similar to, how you would get a text or things like that. You see the notification come through. So you can toggle those on or off depending on where you want to see which notifications. You will notice that some of them are locked if they are considered crucial notifications, like your contact import was complete or it failed, things like that. They're locked so that you will always see them, but they will usually only ever be locked for the desktop in-app notifications. You can still toggle them on or off for the mobile app there. Alrighty, we'll go back out to our command home here. Next thing we have is our name here. If we click on that, a drop-down menu will appear. Now, if you are on a team, you will see 2 different accounts here. You'll see one with your team name. And then if you are a solo agent or if you are on a team as well, you will see one that has your name and then it will say business after your name. So that is considered a personal business account or more of a solo agent team, as they changed the functionality recently to give you more options of what you could do. So you can add guest users to your account and things like that. But with that, it has I know it's been a little confusing that it says team leader and rainmaker under it. That just means you are, the primary person for, getting the leads, getting, the opportunities and things like that. So that just means you are over top of all of it. So you would see team leader, rainmaker under it, even if you're the only person on the account. So I know that can be a little confusing, but that it will show that. So I just wanted to clarify that real quick. Next thing you'll see is my profile right here. So when we open up my profile, this is going to be more of our internal facing profile. Now, what you see here, the biography, the headshot, things like that, it will show to your Market Center staff. It will show on your referrals profile for other KW agents in the referrals applet. It won't show externally. The one thing that will show externally here is the languages spoken. So if you go in and edit the languages spoken through here, if you have additional languages, those will appear on your profile. But otherwise, everything else in here is going to be internal. You will see your real estate license number here. If you do not see your real estate license number here, it just means you probably haven't been activated as an agent in Command yet. So you would just need to reach out to your Market Center staff. That is something that only they can do on their end. Same with if there's any updates, if the number is entered wrong, if the expiration date is wrong, anything like that, just feel free to reach out to your Market Center staff. They'll be able to update it on their end. On the left-hand side, we will see My KW. Under My KW, you will see your KW email. So you can click Manage Your KW Email, and you can go in, set up that KW email, and make any changes to it. Set up email aliases, things like that. You'll see your personal information here, including your KW Communications email. So this is one that I strongly recommend making sure you have access to. You always want to make sure you have access to all of the emails in here. But there are two specific ones, both your KW Communications email, especially if you are trying to do a contact export, it will send the file to your KW Communications email. So you'll just want to check, make sure this is an email you have access to. And if it is, you should be good to go there. Next, we have account access. And in here, you'll see your username. You can reset your password, and you'll also see your password recovery email. So this is the personal non-KW email we were talking about earlier. So if you are inside your account, you can go in and go ahead and change this if it's not something that you have access to. Again, if you are locked out of your account for some reason, or maybe it's because you don't have access to the recovery email anymore, just again, reach out to either us, support@scottleroymarketing.com, or reach out to your Market Center staff as they'll be able to help update that on their end. Next, on the left-hand side, if we go down under My Affiliations, I'm going to minimize these real quick. Under My Affiliations, you should see one that says MLS Listings if your MLS ID has been added to the back end of Command. If it hasn't, that is one final thing that your Market Center staff can do on their end. So it's not something that can be done through the agent's account, but your Market Center staff can get that added from their side, and they should be able to get you all up and running there. Again, I would say MLS Listings. You can see we don't have one on this account though. Next, you'll see your Market Center name. When you click on that, you will see the roles you have in that Market Center. Market Center leader, agent, unlicensed associate, whatever your roles are in the Market Center, you will see those in here. If you are activated as an agent, you will also see your cap status here. So you will see two little graphs, one for your company dollar cap and one for your royalty cap. And it will show a graph with how far along you are to meeting your cap. So it's definitely a helpful thing to know where it is. So you'll be able to find it here. Again, your command settings, go down to My Affiliations, click your Market Center, and it should pop up there as long as you have been added as an agent in Command. Alrighty, back out to our Command home once again. There we go. So we'll click our name again in the top right corner. Next, we'll see Marketplace, which again, we already looked at with this storefront logo right here. Same thing, so we'll skip that. Next, you'll see settings, and this is going to be a lot of the back end settings that you can do. So it will automatically pull you into your applications. So these are connected apps, your Lone Wolf, your DocuSign for now, Dotloop, your social media for post scheduling, Google Calendar, Gmail. You can see your command email settings here. I do actually want to highlight command email settings as well, just because if you are sending out an email through command, you may at some point want to change the reply to email or change the sender name. So you can go in here, go to your settings, click manage by command email. It will send a verification code to your email because it's considered sensitive information. So you can go in, I'm gonna grab that code real quick so I can show you. You'll just click verify code. Now, with these things in command, when it does that verification, you're just going to have to go click that same button again, and then it will pull it up. So if you enter the verification code and it doesn't do anything, just go ahead and re-click whatever you just clicked, and it should pull up for you. I'm not sure why they make you click it twice. That is a fairly new feature in general, but so if it's not showing, it's probably not actually broken. You probably just need to go in and click it again right after you've verified your email, and it should work for you. But in here, you can see your monthly account usage right in here. So you can see each agent gets up to 5,000 free sends per month. You can purchase more command emails if you want to. Next, you'll see the email configuration, which is where you can change the sender name and the reply to email. So you can go in and update that if you need to. On the left-hand side, we have some more settings. We have command settings, so you can go in your contact settings, so you can see your contact archive. You can archive all of your contacts and delete all archived contacts. Please know that if you are doing either of those, please export your contacts first. That way, if for some reason you actually need that contact data, you do not delete it all. So just be extra careful when doing, a database wipe or something like that, bulk archiving contacts, stuff like that. I just strongly recommend that you export a copy of your contacts first, just so you can make sure you still have access to it should you need it. Contact tags, we can go in here. We can create tags, we can delete tags and edit tags. Lead management, lead sources, database cleanup, that's for like merging duplicate contacts. Custom fields, you'll be able to edit those in here. Next, we have opportunity settings, and you can see email update settings, opportunity tags, and archives. Activity tracking for the reports. Marketing, so you can set your default marketing accounts, especially if you're on a team. Smart plans, designated agents, or time and date settings for those. Tasks, you have time and settings. And then under My Logs, you will see import and export logs. So you can go in and view those logs in there. Alrighty. Next, we have under the drop-down menu, you'll see a graduation cap with command training. That is just going to bring you to a category within Connect for your for some training on command. Feel free to check that out. And then finally, up across the top, we have this question mark in the top right corner. If you click on that, you'll see guided tours is currently unavailable. But then next you'll see Keller Williams University. That will take you to answers.kw.com, which is where KW has written an article walking you through how to do pretty much anything and everything in command. So it's a whole bunch of articles that you can go search through and find what you'd like. Chat with support. If you ever need to reach out to KW support via live chat, you can click this button as long as it's within their business hours, which I believe is 9 to 6 Central Time. I could be wrong on that, but I believe it is 9 to 6 Central Time. So you can click on that to live chat with them Monday through Friday, as long as it's not a holiday as well. Next, you'll see post an idea. So I know earlier I mentioned that command was built by agents for agents. So in keeping with that, they set up ideas.kw.com. This is where they welcome agents' feedback. So if you have a feature that you want to see implemented into command, if you want to see something work a little bit differently, odds are if it's going to be helpful for you to see that feature, it's going to be helpful for other agents. And so they really want to hear your feedback. They want to implement it. I've seen several ideas implemented already in the time I've been here. So I know that they do actively go through. They do guarantee that they will read every single idea that is posted. They don't guarantee that all will be implemented, of course, but they do guarantee that they will go through and read all of them. But you can go in here, you can enter ideas, you can search for ideas that other agents have implemented or have added their idea here, and you can vote on them to show that it's important to you, so that, the more votes, the more highly it'll be flagged for KW, so that they'll look at it more closely. But yeah, so we'll go back over here. While I am still in the settings, I do see someone asking if you wanted to get into Lone Wolf. If you just click applications up here, which is where it will bring you automatically, if you click your name and click settings, it'll bring you to the applications page. If you just click go to transact right here, it will bring you to Lone Wolf transact right here. You can also go through the individual opportunities, which is recommended if you're needing to create a new transaction for an opportunity. So yeah, you can access it through there. Alrighty, so now we have worked our way fully across the top. It's time to make our way down the left-hand side. And I know I mentioned this at the beginning of class. Just to reiterate, I'm going to be moving pretty fast through the rest of this. Don't worry, we have a class that walks you through how to do every other thing in here. So all of these applets, we have a class on them. Feel free to check it out. I'm really going to be kind of talking about what each applet can do, the different things that are done, and not as much walking you through how to do all the different things. So if you're wanting that, again, this is just a fast-paced overview of all of command, but we do have classes that walk through all of it individually. And we'd be more than happy to have you join us on those. Alrighty, so on the left-hand side, again, this is our applet menu. They have icons for each applet. If you hover over the icon, it will give you a little bubble that pops up with the name of the applet. If you click the red square with the white KW, it will expand the whole menu so you can see all of the names at once, and work your way through there by that. You can just click that square again to minimize it if you want to. So first up, we have our contacts applet. So the contacts applet is where your database is going to live within command. We can import contacts into command. We can create contacts individually in command. So you can go through, enter the information for all of your contacts. You can fill this out with as much information as you'd like. You can click the three dots. You can check for duplicates. You can export your contacts, either as mailing labels or just as a CSV file. Let's see, we can search through our contacts through here. So we can search by first name, last name, email address, mailing address, and we can search by those. We can, search by who it's assigned to, whether it's, all of the agents or yourself, or if you have a guest user on your account or another team member, you can filter by those. They have filters. They have so many filters. It's honestly one of my favorite things about the contacts applet is their filters are so comprehensive. They have a ton of options in here, which makes it a lot easier to find different contacts. So we have our contact type filter. So whether they're a contact or a lead, we can filter by that. We have tags, which make life easier all the time. You can have as many tags per contact as you want, but you can go through, you can filter by tags. So we can say, go ahead and filter by that. Lead source, team site connection, which means that they've set up an account on your KW agent site or your consumer app. The assignee, collaborator, owner. Again, if you're on a team or you have other guest users on your account, you can filter by those. Neighborhoods, recently active, the date it was created, the last time it was modified, when they were last contacted, any smart plans that they're assigned to, their birthday, their home anniversary, their company, their address, phone number, email address, if they have an email alert, So we can go ahead and we can apply those settings. If you'll notice, we'll go back over to our filters as well. And up in the top right corner, you'll see advanced. They also have advanced filtering. So this is pretty cool. You can go in and add some more custom filtering in here. So we can filter by our custom fields if we have them added when we create a contact. So you can filter by the custom fields. We can also do a exclude a specific context tag. So I'm going to go ahead and say tags, and we'll say instead of includes any, excludes any. We'll say with up at the top, you'll see demo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll go with that. You can select that and apply that, and we'll notice that any contact with that tag, that one up at the top, is gone. So you'll see, it will include all of the class demo, but it will exclude any with that testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that we looked at. We can go back to our filters. We can, switch to basic filters, which will remove the advanced filters, but it should still apply our contact tag. We'll just go back to our class demo. Nope, can't hold it back and spell today. There we go, and we will apply that right there. So then next we have smart views. So I just went ahead and saved the changes if you notice that little box there. But the smart view is basically another way for you to view the same layout or filters again. So we can set our smart views. If we click on this, you will see all of your smart plans in here, or not smart plans, sorry, your smart views. You'll see them popping up here. You can go ahead, you can create new smart views. Smart views are also going to be the new email mailing lists. So if you're sending out email campaigns, you would send them to smart views. So you can, set up your filters however you want. Basically, when you do go in to your contacts applet, it's automatically going to default to your default smart view. So generally, that's going to be all contacts. So you'll notice if you do filter your contacts, and then you leave and come back, it's going to clear out all your filters. So just save it as a smart view. If you want to find it again, you can click manage smart views and set it as your default smart view, which we currently do have that one as our default smart view. Through here, you'll see all of your different contacts. Now we can also choose to show more columns, show fewer columns. So maybe we don't want to include we'll go with that. We can go down. We want to include, let's see here. We'll go favorite pie. That's one of our custom fields. We can include that. And you'll see those appearing here. We can move them around. We can just drag and drop it up here. And we'll see it rearranging. And we can save that as a smart view change as well. So now when we come back to the smart view, it will show us the same layout again. We can go into our individual contacts here. And you'll see on the left-hand side, you'll see all of their information. And on the right-hand side, you'll see a timeline of any actions that have been taken on this contact. You'll see all of the opportunities that are linked to the contact, any smart plans that are linked to the contact, any tasks that are linked to the contact, as well as notes and saved searches if you've created one for that client, or they've created one through the consumer app or your website. We go back out to our contacts here. Alrighty, next we have our tasks applet. So the tasks is a built-in to-do list. Tasks can be created by smart plans or opportunities or manually. So you can create those tasks and assign them to yourself so that you can go in and mark those tasks as complete. So we can go ahead, we can mark a bunch of these as complete. We can mark a whole page here. We can go ahead or we could archive them. I guess we can't mark them all as complete at the same time, but we could archive all of them, reschedule them, reassign them, change the priority level on them. But you can go in, you can mark them as complete right here. And once they've been marked as complete, you'll be able to view them under the completed tab. And if they've been archived, you'll see them under the archived tab as well. Next, we have smart plans, which are a set it and forget it type plan. So you can set up, recurring emails. If you have a newsletter you want to send out, you can set it up that way. Sorry about that. You can set up smart plans. You can have it automatically send out emails, send out texts, assign tasks to yourself. It can even add those contacts that you have added to the smart plan to another smart plan. So there's a bunch of options in here. So if you go through, you can create custom smart plans. You can see any that you've created down here. Just click the arrow beside it if you want to see the steps of the smart plan here. You'll see how many contacts are on it. There we go. So you'll see the eye icon next to the contact. If you click that eye icon, you will see the contact appearing right here. So you'll see that right there, which contacts are on the smart plan. So you can see, I think that's the only one that has any contacts on it currently. You can see the date it was created, how long the smart plan lasts, how many touches, which means how many times you're making contact with that person directly. You can add contacts to the smart plan. You can edit the smart plan. You can make a copy, publish it, or delete it if you've created it. Alrighty, under published, you'll see any that you have published here. Up at the top, you will also see the library, which is where you can find any smart plans that have been published by other KW agents, including the KWRI created smart plans. They have 12 different ones, 10 of which are easily used in any spot you're in. Now they do have 2 which are specifically for Breakthrough 120. You're more than welcome to use these outside of Breakthrough 120, but it probably would make more sense if you used it in conjunction with Breakthrough 120. But you'll see all of their different smart plans that they've created through here. You'll see top rated smart plans, new smart plans, so any that have just been created and published, you'll see those. You can search up top by the smart plan name or the author name. So we can search, for example, if we search by Scott's name, we'll see any that Scott has published here. So 30-day new agent challenge. There's a bunch of newsletters. We create a new newsletter every single month. So you can go in and you can add that smart plan to your smart plans library and use it directly, send it out to your database. So next we have the Referrals applet. And the Referrals applet is where you can send and receive referrals with other KW associates, so other KW agents. We can go through, you'll see your dashboard, any pending invites, referrals, sent or received referrals. Under My Referrals, again, you'll see sent and received referrals, as well as any pending or active. Under Map, the referrals map is pretty cool. So this is a great way for you to find other KW agents to add to your referral network. So you can just zoom in. I always try to zoom in on some random spot. We'll go Memphis, that'll work. So we'll just zoom in here. And when you zoom in, you're going to start seeing agents' names appearing on the right-hand side. Now, keep in mind, this is in production view, which means that each of these agents has had production in the past 12 months. And actually, each of these location pins here, if you zoom in, the green ones just mean there's multiple locations under there. But as you zoom in, you'll notice they're all map pins. If you zoom in far enough here, you'll see that it's actually a specific address here, and you'll see an agent's name for it there. That just means that that agent has either represented a seller or a buyer at that property in the past 12 months. So that's fantastic if you are looking for a referral partner, maybe the client that you're trying to, find a referral agent for is wanting a specific neighborhood. You can zoom in on that neighborhood and find someone that has, helped someone buy or sell a house in that neighborhood in the past 12 months. So production view is great there. Now, again, if you are a new agent, this is production view. So it's production in the past 12 months. If you just joined, you're not going to show up on the map if you haven't had any production. So just keep that in mind. Don't worry if you are not seeing your name here. There are other ways to find it. It just automatically populates production view. We can switch over to Market Center view, which is how you can find yourself if you're a newer agent, haven't had production yet, and you're still working on getting there. We can switch over to Market Center view, and that will show us the market center and all of the agents in that market center. So that way you can find any agents regardless of their production. You can even search by associate name here. So we can search city or zip code or by associate here to find some specific associates in here. Now, next we have my network. We don't have any agents in our network since this is the demo account, but you would see any agents in your network here. And then finally, we have referral patterns, which is probably the coolest part of this referrals map here. So here, this is going to show you basically where referrals are coming from and going to. We can toggle between the two when you are in whatever center point you set here. So it automatically sets it as Austin, Texas. Maybe we switch back to Memphis since we were just there on our map. And you'll see up at the top on the right hand side, you'll kind of see the order. You'll see percentages on the side. That just shows what percentage of referrals, when they are sent through command, are sent, from Memphis. Where are they going? So in this case, Dallas, Texas, Chicago, Illinois, Austin, Texas, Katy, Texas, and then we get Nashville. Now, depending on the location, it's very common to see other, cities in that same state appearing here, especially with Texas. It auto sets to Austin each time, and you'll notice that, the first like 5 are different cities in Texas. Just because, I guess the size of Texas, they refer a lot within their own state there. Obviously, you might not see that with some smaller states. But you might see that a lot, so you can just skip down past that. This was a pretty good option because it goes top one is to Dallas here, but we can also switch. Again, this is just sent referrals. We can switch over to received referrals, which is going to show the opposite. So when people are moving to Memphis via referral through command, they're moving maybe from Tampa or Omaha or Atlanta, Houston, Dallas. So that's just going to give you some good ideas of where you might want to start looking for referral partners. So in this case, let's see, we've got Tampa, and where was it over here? It was Dallas. So maybe we want to start out with finding a referral partner in Dallas and one in Tampa. And then we just kind of, find with, other places on the list that we want to, have a referral partner, just because we know the odds of us getting something out of that are fairly decent. Theoretically. So there you have it. Next, we have opportunities, which is how you can track your transactions in command. It's not loading for me right now. I might have to refresh my page here. But our opportunities are where we can, track those transactions. There we go. From start to finish, we can upload our documents through here. We'll connect our Lone Wolf, for example, directly to the opportunities and things like that. So you can go through and you can upload documents directly here and stuff like that. There's a bunch of things you can do in here. On the home page, you will see the different pipelines, so listings, buyers, and leases. You'll see the number of opportunities you have in each phase. So we have 5 different phases per pipeline. They're all the same except depending on places under contract in leases. But through there, you can go through and see all of them. On the right-hand side, you'll see GCI, both potential income and probable income. Potential income is meaning if all of the transactions in this pipeline go all the way through to close at the exact price that they are currently at, same commission rate, all of the above. This is how much you would make from those transactions. Now, probable income is an adjusted variation, variation there. So that's adjusted based off of the likelihood for the opportunities to close. So they're less likely to close at the beginning of the transaction. Once you get further along, you get to under contract, it's more likely for them to close. So you'll see that number adjusted as you go through. Next, we have the marketing applet. This is a new update since our class 2 weeks ago. So in our marketing applet, they kind of merged a couple designs. It's now down to just email designs. The rest of that designs applet went away and is being replaced with Canva here. So we can go to create in Canva. But our marketing applet is where we can create paid ad campaigns. That'll bring us directly to our paid ads dashboard where we can go in and create those directly. We go back to marketing. Give it a second to load here. We also have paid ad. Oh, that's where we just were going in circles. Sorry about that. We'll go back out again. Move. Let me see here. No, it doesn't want to load. Maybe I have to make it load fully here. Now I'll click back to marketing here and then it should bring me back. There we go. Sorry about that. Next, you'll see the email campaigns. So you can create email campaigns and send them out, and you'll see more information on your email campaigns through here. Any drafts, any that have been sent out or canceled. Designs, again, is currently just email designs. They got rid of all of the other types of designs, which honestly, Canva tends to function better anyway, so that's not necessarily a bad thing. And they do still have email designs in here so that you can directly upload them to your emails. They also have social post campaigns, so you can schedule social posts up to 364 days in advance. Direct mail campaigns, if you want to send out postcards either directly to your database or you want to target a specific area, farm a neighborhood, you can do that through here. Next, we have the Reports applet. Reports applet will allow you to track a bunch of different things in Command or, across KW in general. Now, again, this is, changeable. It might change based off of what you have access to. For example, if you are Market Center staff, you'll see a section for Market Center and stuff like that. If you are not in Market Center staff, you likely won't see that section at all. So not all of these will stay the same depending on what access you have. One that everyone should have access to are these communication reports right here. So I'll show you that as an example. We'll open up communication reports. We have email reports right here. This is how you can track your email engagement, so delivery and engagement on any emails you send, whether they're sent by smart plans, campaigns, anything like that. You'll see those appearing here. You can view the details, see who it was sent to. You can see open rates as well and view the details there as well. So you can kind of play around with that and look at all of the details for your email metrics here. We also have our listings applet right here. Listing applet, if you have your MLS synced, you can see all of your listings should populate in here. There's not a whole lot to do through here. You can have a PDF printout of them, but this section doesn't necessarily have a whole lot. Under collections, you can create collections for your contacts if they have signed up for your consumer app or KW agent site. You can create a collection for them that they can go in and view through here. You can also search listings through here as well, and based off of city, neighborhood, address, school district, zip, or postal code. Next, we also have our website applet. In our websites applet, this is where we will adjust our websites. One other thing, up in the top right corner, we have our settings. This is our marketing profile. So this is our external profile here, also known as our marketing profile. So there's two different tabs here. We have our site settings. So you can go in and adjust that. It'll have your team settings and stuff like that, as well as your agent profile. So anything with a red asterisk is going to be a required field. So you just will want to make sure that it's all filled out there. So your marketing profile is what's going to appear on your KW agent site. It's also what's going to appear on your marketing, whether you send, email campaigns, things like that. It's where all of that information is going to pull in from is your marketing profile. So you do just want to make sure everything is filled out here so that you don't have any issues with any of your marketing not being filled out properly. But out here, if we go to manage website, we can go in, we can do some quick pages here on the left-hand side. We can add, blogs, We can change the color theme, the color scheme and the font, whether it's rounded corners, square. You can go in and adjust that as well. So this one is more just, some quick adjustments to your website. If you want to go more in depth, you can click expert mode at the top right corner, and it will bring you into an editor where you can go in and adjust those pages individually. You can create custom pages, you can edit existing pages through here as well. So there's a lot more editing you can do in here. Again, we do have a class that walks you through this a little more thoroughly. But yeah, so we can go back out here. That is actually all we have for today's class. We made it. If you have any questions, I see there are a couple. I'll go ahead and grab those. But if you are not sticking around for questions, thank you for joining me. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day and a fantastic week ahead. If you do have more questions, please go ahead and drop them in the chat, and I can grab those in just a second.